environment for about 8 years as a child growing up and living off food stamps and a living home, being homeless. Not saying his thing. Okay, let me explain my story. As a child, right, my mom had me with my dad at probably around a young age. I don't know exactly what age she had me, but this was not a good time in her life. Had me as a kid, or had me in my or Montana, right? My dad, or I lived with my mom for about probably like a half a year to a year, and then my dad takes me away from my mom and moves me down to Louisiana with his family without my mom's knowledge, by the way. And so for the next eight, I would say 8 years, I had to live with my dad's mother, aka my grandma, while my dad was in prison. And I've only seen him once in my entire life, and that was as a child around the age of like 3 or 4, and that I don't have very good memory of that. Um, but he was in prison. I lived with my grandma and shit like that, right? She was living off food stamps. Um, we lived in a very poor area. It was maybe not hood hood. It wasn't hood hood. It was more just ratchet ghetto type shit. Like no one, people. Some people had money. Most people didn't have money. Most of the buildings that were there from like other people, not the people who live in them had them. They were there from other people. There were like trailers everywhere. Fuck it. If you had a house, it was government subsidized. Um, very little like vehicles out there. If you did have a vehicle, it was very old, like very poor old area, right? Lived that for 8 years. Didn't have cable for probably the last 3 years of while I was there, which was from the age of like 8 to 11. I didn't have cable, and I would just watch the fucking boop doop 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 doop. Bro, I don't know what the fucking name is, but it's this little fucking girl that does this little fucking dance in this little fucking like factory type area, and she's like Miss Poppins or some shit like that. It was something like that. Bump it in. I don't know, bro. But imagine not having no fucking cable. All you have is fucking like offline Xbox and shit that you only can do, or you can only experience that while you're at your mom's crib. I didn't meet my mom until I was around the age of 8. I didn't know who she was. Nigga, I didn't know who she was. They told me that was my mom, and I was supposed to accept it. And then, I didn't move in with my mom. I still lived with my grandma for about the three. My grandma was my guardian. My mom was not really my guardian. She would just obviously it's my mom. She wants to have me, but whole guardianship, legal fucking problems. They were fighting over custody over me because my grandma didn't want to give me up, but my mom wanted me. Whole set of bullshit. That was from the age of 1 to 11, right? No father, poor area. Lived out my entire fucking life at that point. Didn't meet my mom until 8. Um, fucking had to get introduced to like a stepdad. Didn't really get close to him like that. And then randomly, one random fucking day, around the age of 10, 11, I walked to my mom's crib because I used to always walk to my mom's crib. Maybe not every single day, but every like couple of days I would walk to her crib and live in her crib for a little bit, right? And at this time, without my knowledge, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I just thought it was a typical fucking crazy bullshit happening, right? Like crazy bullshit. Someone doing some fucking bullshit that they weren't supposed to be doing. But my mom randomly, I just go to her crib. She fucking comes up to me, explains like doesn't explain the situation, but be like, "Yo, we have to leave." I get taken by my mom from my grandma and moved to North Carolina from Louisiana. No contact with my other family, nothing like that. That was around the age of 11, 10 or 11. And from that point on, I was basically living. It was just me and my mom and my stepdad, but I wasn't really close to my stepdad. So I'm fucking living my life. All I have is an Xbox, and I have no friends, and I don't talk to my mom like that. So what do I do? You go to school, you come back from school, you play video games. You live inside your room for the next until you move out. There was a few times where I've like met friends or tried or met people that I was friendly with and shit like that, but it never was like any deep shit. It was never like, oh, this is for sure my friend. No. One of the dudes that I was like the neighbor that we had that he was like a teenager, and this is some weird shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, fucking weird ass kid, very weird kid. Dirty room, bathroom, like fucking disgusting as fuck. Dude is weird. Think of like Nirvana type, like style, white dude, skinny as fuck. Bro is weird. He fucking I'm still a child at this point, right? I don't know any fucking better. Bro was my first, like he wasn't my first experience of porn, but he showed me porn. I didn't know what the fuck porn was at that time. And I don't know why the fuck he did this. But he would just show porn while I was around. That was fucking weird. I didn't know at the time though. I didn't think it was weird. I'm just a little fucking child at that point. But parents never find out about this. Never do. Right? Because I don't fucking talk to my mom. I don't. We never really had a relationship like that. But obviously she was still my mom. We had that somewhat relationship, but it wasn't all that. But I would stay in my room for the entire time I lived with them. So that was approximately 3 years. So I would literally just go to school, come back, live in my room for the next 3 years. Didn't go out, didn't hang out with no one, didn't fucking make friends with people. I just go to school, come back, play video games. That's all I did. I didn't talk to my mom that much. I didn't go outside and socialize much. I did not do any of that. And then this was around like when I was getting out of fucking like elementary school, and I moved from that school because they were selling the house, and my mom was starting to have like arguments and shit with the person that we were living with, and because she wanted to move out and get out of the house, but we didn't want to move out because it was a good position for us. So we go through that whole fucking bullshit. We fucking have to move out. We move into like this cheap ass apartment, and I just do the exact same thing but worse. Like I would literally, this was the beginning of middle school. I would literally just go to middle school, come to class, not talk to really anybody, fuck around, not really care about shit, just say dumb shit, don't really care about my grades or anything like that, and I would go home. I never made real friends, like any real friends during that time. There was no one I hanged out with. There was no one that I was socializing with, and that was all through middle school until I got about the age of um around 8th grade, which was probably like 13, 14, right? That's when I started like meeting, I guess, friends somewhat, but they weren't really friends. Like we never hung out, anything like that. But high school, I would just do the same shit. Go to school. It was a lot. I was socialized a lot more, obviously, because I'm in high school and I have a brain and I'm developing and all that other shit. I'm trying to fucking meet new people and experience new things. But I never hung out with anyone. And so, same shit. Go to school, come back, play video games, live in my room for the next 2 years, I would say. 2, 3 years. And I did this all through high school, actually. The only way I had any sort of socializing that was outside of school was during cheer, because I decided to do cheer, and that was a great thing for me because it allowed me to be around women and especially other people that I have never been around, that I have nothing related to these people. And when I talk to people, right, and what do you think I did during those that that spanned from 11 to 18, all the way through that time. I went to school because I was forced to go to school. I came back home. I didn't talk to many people during high school. Like, I didn't fucking, I obviously could make, like, acquaintances and be friendly with people, but none of them were really friends, I would say. Like, you would think actual fucking friends, you hang out with them, you do all this other shit, you fucking text a lot, or you fucking get to know each other. Never experienced none of that shit. And then, and then in that entire fucking time, while sitting in my room, watching fucking YouTube, playing video games, and not talking to my parents very much, I had nothing to do besides go work out because I was getting chubby and fat, and and to think about shit. When you're by yourself, you think about all sorts of shit. This is why people tell you not to spend a lot of time being alone. Because if you do, you will drive yourself crazy. Because all you can do is think. All you can do is think about certain shit. You have to think about everything because you just have all the time you're in the world to think about shit. And that's why I have like the beliefs I have now is because most of the shit that I believe in, I have a valid reason to believe in it, or having like an okay reason to believe in it. That's not the same shit for everyone else. Else just believes shit. Yes, they can have valid reasons, but they don't have valid reasons for every little fucking thing they believe in. But ever since like that's my entire fucking childhood, growing up and all that shit, right? And recently, once I got out of high school, moved out of my mom's crib and all that shit, just recently, like this is a year and a half, probably 2 years at this point. Is it 2 years? Yeah, around 2 years. No, no, no. After I got out of high school, I spent that entire year just trying to figure out what I should do with my life and how do I make money. I didn't want to go to college. I could have gone to a college, but I didn't. I made that split decision not to go to college. Had a fucking huge argument with my mom. And when the only person that you can trust in your life is your mother, who was there your entire fucking life, is the only one stable thing in your life when it comes to like people, when she tells you you either have to go to college or you start to like, or I have to kick you out or pay rent, it's like, as a parent and you knowing the situation that I've been through and you knowing the shit that I've gone through, you decided that this was an okay thing to do to your child, is to demand that your child start paying rent when this nigga doesn't even understand what the world is or what of the sort. And I understood why she did it, because she making your child pay rent forces them to get a job, but at the same time, allowing your child to make money while they live with you and making sure that they still have a job but not necessarily giving you money was it's not a good solution. But also this, my mom worked at Walmart, and obviously when you work at Walmart majority of your life, you don't make a lot of fucking money. You really don't. And so I never really got to talk to my mom and all that shit because she would literally go to work in the morning while I go to school, and then we would both just chill in our rooms. And that's all we would do. She had to go to work, she had to rest up and all that shit and make money. And I knew this because I knew she didn't, like, we didn't have a lot of things, I would say. I slept on the floor my entire life. This bed frame right here is, like, honestly, I haven't had a bed frame like this and ever since I lived back in Louisiana. I always slept on the floor. I had a bed, but I just slept on the floor. It was a mattress on the floor. And that's how I lived majority of my fucking like 11 through 18. That's how I knew. And plus also the other things like not getting the same shit. Seeing your peers getting shit like fucking nice shoes, new clothes, all this other shit that typically normal people with actual fucking money have, right? Like just typical shit that, a child experiences and parents buy for them, right? No, I didn't experience that. Like the only times I really got gifts or anything handed to me was during holidays or birthdays, and even then that was very. It was very not. It was not many gifts. I got one thing, one or two things that was actually like I cared about. But since like I think I realized after the age of like 15, 16, I just stopped accepting like shit from my mom. Like every time she would be like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I'd be like, "I don't want anything." Or every time she asked me this one day, and she was like, "Why do you?" I don't know if she's the exact thing she said, but I don't remember the whole exact words, but I remember her asking me. No, no, I don't remember her asking me. I remember her asking me what I wanted, and I told her that I don't want anything. And then this is during Christmas, and I told her that I don't want anything from you. I don't believe in the whole fucking. This is when I like came out to her that I don't believe in God or anything like that, right? Because my mom's very Christian. Maybe not very, but she's Christian in the sense she believes in that shit. And that the Christians don't take well when it comes to people not believing in Christianity. But she understood somewhat. Not really. She don't fully understand. But at that point in time, she knew that I did not believe in that shit. And since like since 15, 16, I have not really accepted any gifts besides this Xbox. This is during like this is probably my last birthday around like 17, 18. She got me this Xbox because this was coming out and I was like, this is maybe the one thing I do want. But before that, I didn't really accept gifts. Like I don't really want shit from people. That's my mindset. Like I do everything in my life and what I was taught is that after experiencing in my mind a betrayal from my mother, the one person I could trust to actually like be my support system, when she wasn't my support system anymore, it's like who do I trust in this world? If I can't trust the one person that birthed me and has been in my entire life while the other person who was supposed to be taking care of me been left. And so my mindset nowadays is like I do everything myself. I don't want to take anything from other people. I don't want anything from no one else. I want everything that I have and that I do and that I want in the future. Everything comes down to what I want to do and what I do. No one hands me a damn thing. I don't want anything from people. That is just how I view it. Because if I give people trust and I rely on people, I know deep down, and I know this will happen, is that I do that, and then people will not understand that I have reliance on them, and then they will try to use that against me, or they will not be liable anymore. And it's like, if I can't put my trust into someone that's like that I could actually trust, or if I can't put my reliance on anyone because of that reason, I'm just not gonna trust anyone. So it's very difficult for me to trust people or even get comfortable with people because of that reason. But another thing but since I experienced all that other shit, I've been across the country. I've been from Wyoming to Louisiana to North Carolina to New York, right? I've experienced these whole different cold like places. every state, every state in America is like its own different country, in a sense. There are different cultures, people act different, different fucking beliefs and shit, right? And from experiencing the deep south and what poverty in a black community can do or what that can do to children and people living in that environment, I understand what poverty does to people. I don't think people don't know what poverty does to people. They don't actually know what it does. And so, no having that knowledge, and then coming into an environment like where I am now, which is a rich area that are typically the children are fucking don't have to do any hardships. People go experience like they go fucking do they have like beach mansions or fucking not beach mansions but like beach houses, or they have fucking someone that they know with a beach house, or they go on a trip every single fucking year to like Cancun or fucking like some tropical area. I never experienced that in my life. I've never left this country. I didn't have the money to leave this country because of the fucking situation I had. My mom had to work her fucking ass off to get me to a position in a place to where I could live in an environment like this. And I'm very grateful for that. But at the same time, not spending much time with your child while they're growing up can fuck your child up so much. And I don't think people, and this is the problem with me, like, this is why I'm so passionate and why I debate and why I actually fucking hate when people have an opinion and don't back it up with actual fucking reasoning, like an actual valid reason, is because of that. Is you need to think about that shit. You need to think about the shit that you're doing because it affects other people even if you don't think it does. That belief of like, oh, I want to do this. Did you think about your children that you potentially might have if you choose to have children? Did you think about this? Because this could affect someone in the future that you may not even know yet. But you might know them and you might want to get to know them. But you did this in the past. People don't think about shit like that. They don't. They don't think about future shit and all that shit. And so, with how I talk to people, and this is the one thing I've learned, is that when I go into a real life situation, I can't talk to people. I can't talk to people how I talk to people on this screen. Like, I can't talk to people like how I'm talking to you right now. At least in real life. Because people do not understand and they cannot handle what I'm saying. People don't understand why I'm saying the shit I'm saying. And it's hard for me to tell. It's hard for me to try to explain something to someone without them knowing my full backstory or everything about me. Because you need to know everything about me in order to understand why I view the shit I believe. You need to do that for everyone. You need to understand the backstory of people in order to understand how they fucking think and how they believe and how this other shit, right? You need to understand that. But everyone's always looking at the surface level shit. And everyone's thinking everyone's supposed to act the fucking same. But no. We all experience different fucking shit. And so when I talk to people about shit that I'm confident in, and the reason I'm so bold and I'm so confident is because I know. I've experienced. I fucking have seen people fucking do crazy shit because of the situation they've been in. And so when I talk to people that haven't experienced that shit or have been raised in an environment like where I live with a lot of fucking wealth and a lot of money and very little poverty besides small little fucking areas in the fucking other parts of where they don't live, right? They don't know what I'm talking about. They think that I'm wrong. They think that I'm crazy. They think that, or maybe they don't think I'm crazy, but they don't understand. And imagine living a life like that. Imagine living a life where I'm not saying I know absolutely fucking everything, but imagine living a life where you have a mind where you know a lot of shit when it comes to like poverty and what that can do to a person's mental and what other shit can happen. Like, there was a situation as a child, right, where I was living in my grandma's house with a cousin of mine and another cousin of mine. My grandma does not fucking play when it comes to drugs or anything like that. She's imagine a very Christian woman. She's a very religious Christian woman, okay? She don't like fucking cigarettes, smoking, anything like that. It's the devil in her mind, in her eyes. And so she will fight you on that. So my cousin, right, smokes a cigarette out the fucking window without anyone fucking knowing. My grandma comes and checks on all of us every so and often, right? She walks into the fucking door. This is at night, by the way. This dude is smoking a cigarette. My grandma comes in, sees that shit, gets to a whole fucking argument with him, and then they just start fucking fighting each other. or they're not fighting each other, but he swings on her. This is his aunt or like his grandma too, because his mom, everyone I've been surrounded by as a child has had problems with their fucking family in some sort of aspect. Everyone most of my family has had fucking problems. This dude, his mom, what I don't know the exact situation, but she couldn't take care of him. Well, she could take care of him, but he couldn't take care of himself. He wanted to get into trouble. He was always trying to do some bad shit, and he didn't understand that he needed to get like a job and other shit like that. He didn't want to do any of that. He didn't want to go to school. He didn't want to do none of that. And so he was a crash out. He was a crash out. And so my grandma finds he's smoking a cigarette. She's a very bold, strong, tall, fucking built woman. You do not want to fight her, okay? She can handle her own. And so he swings and he starts fighting her. She's obviously trying to defend herself and fight back. And so my cousin, that cousin was getting into an argument. I live with another cousin as well. Female, different fucking cousin, isn't a bad person. It's pretty normal, I would say, for the environment that she was raised in. She's pretty normal. I don't know her fully exactly because she was gone half my life. But fuck me. But fucking, she sees this shit. They're trying to fucking stop him from swinging on her. He's fucking crashing out, like unreasonably crashing out. And so I don't know. I don't know if I remember the whole situation, the exact like thing, and this might be like I may not remember certain aspects of it because this was such a long time ago. But one of the two things, either the fucking smoking thing where they got into an argument with that, or I just remember this, or he started hitting on the female cousin who I was saying was normal, right? He started hitting her, and then they got into a tussle. He got put on the ground. The cops got called, and he got arrested. When you see that shit and you don't know what the fuck is happening at the age of 8, 9, it's like, nigga, no shit, I'm gonna be fucked up when I grow up. I'm experiencing shit like that in my life, even though a child should never be seeing that shit. So that's another thing that that's just one example of shit that's happened in my life as a child, living there at least. And so when I live in a situation like how I'm living now, and I try to ask people about their beliefs and other shit, and people get like sensitive about their beliefs, or they don't understand like why I ask them these questions, right? People very much, you can tell that they are in a cult mindset or they are in a follower mindset. You see it all the fucking time. I even have a friend right now, right? These people don't go out and seek knowledge. They don't. They really don't. Motherfucker, I don't want no sympathy. I don't want your sympathy. I want you to understand. I want you to remember this knowledge, and every single time that I say anything in the fucking future, or we have a debate or anything like that, just have this in the back of your mind, right? And I'm saying this and I'm sharing this whole shit because I feel like in the future, like when I go off in this random ass day and I'm just fucking feeling like debating, or like how yesterday happened where I'm just fucking passionate and some random dude comes in and I'm over here debating and all this shit, right? This is the reason I like debates and shit like that. Is because I had to question. Well, I have to get this out one day or another, right? To me, it's like it's not that bad to me because at the end of the day, I can't change anything about that, and that whole situation has resulted in me, and so I can't be like, oh, this sad shit. No, nigga, I'm like, so what? It happened. It happened. I gotta get over it. That's how I am. That's my mindset. That's what that does to you. That's why I had to grow up so early. This is why this is why people think that I'm older. Yes, this is kind of the mindset you have to have when you're put in that situation. You see it a lot of times with people who go through trauma. If you genuinely ask a person and you know that they've gone through trauma and you understand that they are like, they're okay with it, just be like, do you think trauma or do you think the shit that you experienced was a waste of time? And I would tell you, majority of the time, I will say that those people will say, no, it wasn't a waste of time. Because when you go through bad shit that badly, and you go through all that shit, it does a weird flip where like you've experienced such little or such bad shit that when you go into your normal life and then you go through like small fucking shit, like for example, giving homeless people money. Why the fuck would anyone give homeless people money? But if you have been homeless or you've experienced homelessness, you're a lot more generous when it comes to your money because you know what it feels like. You know the experience. You know what being homeless is. That's the type of shit it does to you. So being so negative and experiencing so much negativity in your life actually makes you a very positive of a person. It's a 50-50 kind of. Like you can either be fucked up in the head and you can let all that deep shit and all that fucking crazy shit actually affect your future life, or you can understand that you've been dealt fucking terrible cards and that you need to move on with your life. And instead of causing more negativity in the world, you need to. It just makes life way more positive. That is if you manage to pull yourself out of it, but it's not. Yeah, exactly. This is why I said it was a 50-50. Because when I was starting to say that shit, I was like, okay, this is not a guarantee. Not everyone fucking becomes a positive person. No, people get fucked up in the head. They go crazy. That's the type of shit that shit does to you. But the reason I share this fucking story is because people need to understand my backstory and what I've experienced to understand why I say the shit I say or why the way I act the way I act. Like, there's a reason why I don't care about politics. There's a reason why I don't give a fuck about other people. Like, why other people's, like, why I'm so open-minded and why I let fucking other people give their opinions without me getting triggered or anything like that is because I know what those situations do to people. I know what bad shit does to people. A little fucking opinion isn't gonna hurt me. At the end of the day, someone's opinion will actually improve my life because it makes me think of shit that I haven't thought about that may not have any sort of effect on my life at all. But it could. It could improve my life. It could not improve my life. That's the type of shit. That's the reason why I like talking with people and why I like conversating. Those ideas you need to have in your fucking head in order to improve your life. You can't think of fucking everything yourself. The human brain doesn't have enough fucking capacity nor processing power nor enough time in their fucking life to question literally every aspect of their life. So what you gotta do is you gotta give a broad, like, you can question yourself and then you need to go fact check that shit with other people's opinions. Okay, I believe this, but this person believes this. I want to know why they believe that. So if that's an actual better fucking reasoning and that actually makes more sense to me, I'm like, okay, let me actually take that idea and put it into my life and apply it to my life somewhat because that's actually a good idea. People don't think that way. And so when I get so passionate about shit, when people fucking don't are not like open minded to the shit I say, or don't fucking listen to what I have to say, I'm just like, dog, I do not care about you. In the deepest bowels of my fucking heart, I have no feelings, no nothing. I cannot stand you. Think about this, right? All the shit that's happened in my life has caused me to hate every single human being in the fucking world. Every single one. I do not like anyone. Okay? I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care what you've done for the world. I don't care. I cannot stand you. But that's the thing, is that I hate everyone equally. And you know what that does for me? I treat everyone equally because I hate all of you equally. There's nothing to attach to you people. I don't want anything from you. I don't care for anything that you do with your fucking life. Deepest, like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have this whole argument and debate, but you will not affect my life. You have no control over me. You have nothing you've impacted in my life, nothing. And this is why I don't care to give my opinions about shit, because this is how I structured my life, and this is my benefit of my decisions. Are there bad things about it, like attachment issues and shit like that? Yes, but this is what I've experienced. This is what I choose to do. This is what I do in my life, and people don't understand that. You do not understand that I do not like you people at all. I choose to like you. I choose to let you into my life. I choose to fucking have a conversation with you. I am forcing myself to do that because I know that it will improve me, and I know it's healthy, and I know it's good for me because I know what being bad is. I know what bad does to your life. I know what chaos does to your life. People don't think the same way. They don't. People are just children. And it's not their faults. It's not because they're doing, this is the normal route. They're doing the normal lifestyle. This is the normal shit that people experience. But my experiences are not normal. And it's hard for me to live my life trying to make people understand and make people think about their decisions when all they fucking do is ignore you and think that they're right even though they have nothing to fucking, like, they have no reasoning behind it. They have nothing to back it up. They have fucking dog shit nothing. I wish people would actually spend more time alone and actually fucking engaging with their thoughts instead of trying to hide from them. Like, even though being by yourself and thinking about shit all the fucking time, we're all mad here. No. You're not all mad. No one's mad. Not everyone is fucking crazy. Everyone's not crazy. Let me get this fucking straight. Everyone is not crazy. There are people that have lived lives that have caused them not to experience as much shit, and so they're living in a blissful ignorance life. And if they're living that lifestyle, why would they ever change that shit? Why would you coming into their life and explaining to them why they should change this thing that is, in fact, they feel so good about it and they feel so well and okay with it in their lives, when you come and tell them, like, dog, that shit is fun and good at the time being, and it's good for the moment, but when you grow up and you actually have to live with your actions and your decisions, you will regret this moment. That's why I fucking try to like make people think about shit. I'm trying to improve your life. I'm not trying to make you fucking go crazy. I'm not trying to fucking make you fucking think a certain way. I'm trying to improve your life. I have no stances on shit. I don't pick sides because there's no point in picking sides. I see everyone as a blank fucking slate. Some of y'all did more, some of y'all did less. It doesn't change the fact that you're all fucking human beings. I had to get that shit out because you need to understand my history in order to understand me in the future. This is why. And this is kind of like this. This is the second time I've told anyone about my past outside of like family or my mom. I haven't even told my mom this, but I've told this story once a few months ago. Maybe not a few months ago. It was probably like half a year ago. No, probably 6 months ago. Yeah, but you aren't improving no one's life because yeah, I had to. It's a part of the it's my heart. Like, don't. Here's the thing. We all have fucking stories. My story is no different from yours. Well, it is, but it's not. Okay? Everyone experiences shit in their life. All I'm doing is telling you my backstory and the shit I've been through, so that you have a better understanding of me and the shit I go through and why I act the way I do. And this will allow you to not be so, like, if I do some crazy shit, you'll be like, okay, it makes sense why I did that crazy shit. Even though it wouldn't make sense in that situation, you understand now why I do that crazy shit. You understand probably why I smoke now. You understand why I do dumb shit. Or why I talk the way I talk. Because you now know my backstory. And you know the shit I've experienced.